Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday everywhere. All over the place. It's Tuesday.
Come on. It's a Wonderful Life opens tomorrow.
Yeah, whatever.
It's a wonderful life.
Well, wonderful this.
It's a Wonderful Life opens tomorrow. We'll go see it and everything will be wonderful.
Everything will be wonderful.
Oh, the door is opening. Oh, look, people are coming in here and moving things around.
No.
If we suddenly get brighter, it's
because we are bright.
Oh, look, there. Welcome to live television, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. How are things?
It's a Wonderful Life opens tomorrow if you want to get in the Christmas spirit.
And that's the classic to
but
do
it's
that
the radio
right?
play version of it, Luann.
Yes.
So you get to watch them pretend that they're backstage at not backstage, at a radio, putting on a radio show. So they're running around doing sound effects, and there's real live commercials from like real Sault Ste. Marie businesses, and of course it's a beautiful story. So it opens.
Our Kevin is in it, so he's been rehearsing and stuff.
He plays 5 different voices, I believe. I know.
Holy!
That's the other fun thing is you get to see one actor.
For once, the schizophrenia is working out for him.
But that's not a thing, though. Schizophrenia is not the same as multiple personality disorder.
No, it isn't.
But anyway, yes, it's still working out for him. 7:30 p.m. curtain. Tickets are available at the door and also at the Sault Community Theatre Centre box office in the Station Mall or SaultCTC.ca online. KC Security.
Thank you for sponsoring the show every single morning for us. We so appreciate that.
As long as we're plugging stuff, we'll plug KC Security too. How are you, though?
I'm good.
Are ya?
I'm so good I can't even stand it.
I can't wait till it's Christmas, Luann.
Yeah, because you're going away. That's
because I don't want to. Because I'm tired of working. Who else is tired of working? I mean, I like my job and everything, but sometimes you just don't want to go to bed.
Well, I'm sure. You know what? I think the weather change and everything and the snow and it's dark earlier and it's darker in the morning. And I think all of that just plays into it for us and our lovely morning personality.
I have more good news for you.
Oh, good.
On December the 21st, days start to get longer
already,
again.
Yes.
I know. So we've got...
Isn't that good?
Think about it this way. We're getting through the darkness. There's a light.
There's always a light. Go towards the light.
Because they've turned it towards us.
Go towards the light.
No, don't go into the light. Don't go into the light. What was the little girl's name? Don't go into the light in that movie where...
Poltergeist?
Yes.
I don't know what her name was.
The little girl. She disappeared into the TV set.
The little blonde with the straight bangs.
Did she die? She died. Did she die? I think she died.
Well, you can't go into TV and come out unscathed.
No, I mean in real life, I think the actress died.
Oh.
Did she? I don't remember. Clarice. No, who was Clarice?
What? What are you talking about?
I'm going to have to find out when I come back. What was that little girl's name? It's National Maple Syrup Day.
Yay! We're in the right place for that.
We certainly are. Okay. What's going on with the U.S. border, Luann? They changed the laws. You didn't hear?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you know how...
So I can't bring a pound of dope across anymore?
You can, but you'll never go back again. And you may never be seen again.
Yeah.
No, here's the deal. Remember how you used to be able to go out to the border, and if they started saying things to you, you could say, I changed my mind. I'm going back to Canada. Or like...
Oh, you could.
Yeah, remember you were told if they were asked you a question about, do you use marijuana, cannabis recreationally? Mm-hmm. You could say, I'm not going to answer that question. And they would say, well, whatever.
We don't have to let you in.
And then you could say, okay, I'm going home. And you could turn around and come back.
Right.
There's a new law that the U.S. Customs has started where they can detain you. They can, even if you say, I changed my mind, I don't want to come into your country, they can say, too late. We're suspicious of you. And they can pull you in.
Wow.
You don't even have to be crossing into their country. They can stop you before you even enter, and they can say...
That can't be legal, can it?
They have their own, they're like their own government, their own courts, their own everything. They're scary at the border. That's a new thing, so just beware, make yourself aware of what your rules, what your rights are when you go to the border. Be careful what you say, because now, if you sound suspicious, they can actually say, even if you change your mind, say, I don't want it anymore.
So you change your mind, you don't want in anymore, they pull you over anyway, they search your vehicle, they toss all your stuff around, then they let you go back anyway?
They let you go back anyway, or maybe they'll even let you go in if after all your concerns you're let through after all. I don't know.
But then maybe they just want to scare you.
Well, I see, and then, I don't know. It's just the whole...
Well, it sounds a little undemocratic, doesn't it?
Imagine the U.S. being undemocratic.
What? When did that happen?
I don't know.
You know what?
I do know.
I swear, honesty is the best policy. If you have a bottle of wine in your car that you bought at Walmart across the river, just say, yeah, I have a bottle of wine.
That's when you're coming back into Canada. We're talking about when you're going into the States, like just going into, like, I'm going to shop at Walmart,
Okay, so
and they might say,
no.
do you use cannabis recreationally?
So just lie and say no.
I'm going.
Well, that's what lawyers are telling people. If you're asked directly, have you smoked pot in the last 24 hours? Lawyers are actually saying to their clients, tell them no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's legal in Michigan, it's legal in Canada, but you can't bring Canadian into Michigan. And if you get caught there, then they'll keep you there forever and a day. And then you can't do the opposite as well.
See, when I did this show, remember this show that we're doing now? I spoke to people and the advice was, just tell them you don't want to answer that question.
But now you're saying...
And then they could say, well, then we're not going to let you in. And you would say, okay, goodbye. Now, if they say, have you used recreationally? And you could say, I don't want to answer that question. I'm just going to go back into Canada. They're going to say, no, get in here. We have more to ask you. See, that's what they've changed.
I know.
So what she says, just lie. But now we're going to get in trouble. Well, that's okay. My mouth is insured.
Is it? Oof, that's got to be a policy.
It's a lot of money to insure this mouth. Did you know that I have to do that? I had to get media insurance for my mouth to do this show because nobody trusts me.
Are you surprised? I'm not. At all.
It's Pope Francis's birthday.
Happy birthday, Popey!
He's going to go out in the balcony and wave and say Santa la Vente, Santa Santa la Vente.
And he's going to bless all of us.
Hey, everybody, off of my lawn! Costs a lot of money for the fertilizer. Orville Wright.
RV.
Weren't the Wright brothers Canadian? I think they were. I know that they were in the States when they flew, but I think they were.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, somebody let them in. They were allowed. They were allowed to be high across the border. No, but they
stay away from the dope.
They had Orville had his first flight today. It lasted 12 seconds. He went 120 feet.
Wow.
1903. It was the first pilot-powered flight in history.
Talk about petering out.
Yeah, right? His brother tried 3 days before, but he didn't make it. I mean, he survived. Wilbur flew 3 days, didn't make it up in the air 3 days earlier, but Orville made it up. 12 seconds. Now, have you seen, I just watched that movie, Crazy Rich Asians. Well, I tried to watch it.
Uh-oh.
It was terrible. It was ridiculous. It was like...
Really?
Yeah.
Stupid?
It was stupid. It was about an old story. A young, sweet girl meets rich guy, goes home and meets the snotty parents. It was just like Monster-in-Law or whatever it was. It was just... anyway. They flew on an airline where they had chairs, a private lounge in their airplane, private chairs and a TV set, and the chairs could be converted to beds. I'm like, shut up, that's not real. It is real. Singapore Air has these...
Really?
A bar. You walk into their first class section and there's a bar, and then you go into your private cabin in an airplane. So
that's got to cost you a pretty penny.
Thank you, Orville Wright, for getting it up for 12 seconds. In 1843, Charles Dickens...
I dated him. I don't have insurance on my mouth.
But for you, he wasn't Mr. Right.
No. He was not Mr. Right.
He was just Mr. Right now. For about 12 seconds. Okay, so listen, what else can I tell you? You want to tell me anything?
Well, if I could, yeah, that'd be great.
Go.
So Taylor Swift's dad is the reason behind there's a scene in the Cats production that she's in.
Okay, yes.
Where she's laying in a hammock and she's sprinkling catnip down to the other cats.
Yes, ballerina.
Because during the production, her parents were watching and Dad said, hey, I have a great idea. Why don't you have some catnip around, and then all the cats could be flipping around and doing some really cool choreography. Well, the director had never heard about catnip, didn't know what it did. So
how can you be the director of a film called Cats and not know what catnip is?
It's Tom Hooper. I think he's,
I have more to talk about with cats too, by the way.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I've got a good story about cats too with Jason Derulo.
Oh, yeah?
Jason Derulo. Okay, so listen.
Does he have catnip?
There's a scene in Cats where they all kind of get like, there's like a little bit of an orgy scene.
Oh.
In the Broadway musical. I don't know if they're going to do it in this one, but there's a scene where they also, that would probably be the catnip scene where they're all kind of like, Anyway, on the show today, Jay Case has a CD release party coming up at Lop Lops this month.
Lop Lop.
He came in and sang for us. We pre-recorded it, and then we did an interview. So Jay Case is on the show this morning.
He's a local, like, musician.
I love Jay Case.
He's phenomenal.
He's a beautiful human being.
He is.
And he's an exceptional talent.
Yeah, very sweet guy.
I love you, Jay Case. Who else? Oh, Lene Fragamini is here. It's the memorial tree lighting this weekend.
Yes.
And so the folks from Arthur's Funeral Home who do it every year, it's not just Arthur's Funeral Home, there's a whole big, Lene will tell us the whole proper name. At any rate, Barton Cutley Arthur's, blah, blah, blah. They are teaming up this year with Sarah McCleary and the gang from St. Vincent Place.
Awesome.
So we've got some information for you on that. And my friend Luann here, well, she's got the news. So it's a whole big regular morning show. We'll see you in a minute on Tuesday. Mornings with Luann and Tim on ONNtv. Back to Mornings with Luann and Tim, and this is you're finally here.
I'm finally here.
Jay Case, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't this nice, Jay? Little
warming our
holiday by the fire, getting ready for some January cold.
Yes.
Wasn't that a nice segue?
I did. I like that.
Okay, so Jay is going to do a song for us today from your new CD. The name of the CD is what?
It's called Foundation.
Foundation.
Yep.
And the track you're doing is called January Cold.
January Cold. It's not yet January, although it feels a bit like it.
Yeah. It's a beautiful song. I've had the chance to listen to you perform it already. Jay, you have been in the music scene in Sault Ste. Marie for how many years now?
I guess it's coming up on 22 years now.
That's crazy. You started when you were 3 years old.
Exactly.
Instruments that you play, because I can't keep track.
Okay, so I play a lot of instruments, and I play one or two of them well. So on the album, I actually play all the instruments that are being played.
Go on.
I played the drums and the bass, and I played the guitars, and I sang.
You did that on the album? On this album? You played guitar, bass, drums?
Yeah.
and sang.
That's correct. Yeah.
You play a few other strings, don't you?
I play the banjo. I play the upright bass.
I've seen you play that.
Yeah, I dabble.
Did you play
with
that on the train that time when we were on the train? Did you have the upright bass?
I might have. Yeah, I probably
might have.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did with Shannon Moan. Actually.
Shannon Moan. So that's another
Moan.
question.
Yeah.
We were going through the number of other musicians with whom you're affiliated. So Shannon Moan Trio is one. That's Shannon Moan, local singer-songwriter.
Absolutely fantastic.
And you and Frank Duresti team up with Shannon.
Frank Duresti and the Lake
trio.
Effect.
Oh, then Frank Duresti and the Lake Effect.
That's
Who's
correct.
in that group with you?
So Chris Johns and Joshua Norling and sometimes Jay Styles, who is based in Texas, but when he's back in Canada, he tours with us.
Wild. Josh Norling is a crossover with you as well in another group you play in.
Yeah, called the Hustle Brothers.
This is a wild one.
Yeah, so we've got 3 horns, and we play like Motown and sort of groovy, funky music from the 60s.
Yeah, who's that? Is that you and Frank again?
Yeah, Frank and I again, and Clifford Alloy on the drums.
Yeah,
fantastic.
And then our horns are
Josh Norling playing the tenor sax, Ken Soriano playing the baritone sax, and Jay Dinsdale on the trumpet.
Jay Dinsdale on the trumpet.
It's so fun.
Okay, and then Los Barbudos.
Los Barbudos is our band.
Cubano.
Un grupo cubano que tocamos sones y boleros cubanos tradicionales.
This is the real deal. I did the Gala Latina.
Yeah.
I was an MC and you performed, and I did not even know that you guys had put this group together.
Yeah.
You actually have sets. You speak Spanish.
I do, yeah, I speak.
Self-taught?
Yeah, basically, the internet. I mean, it's 2019.
What about your music? Is that self-taught?
Yeah, for the most part.
Wild.
When I was about 17, my mom got me a guitar for Christmas, and I'd had music surrounding me my entire life. So self-taught would be not really. I kind of picked it up just by watching.
Right.
But no formal lessons until I got a lesson on how to play a bar chord over the phone with my Uncle Terry out in Calgary. In Red Deer, Alberta, and he told me what it was, and I was like, "Oh, perfect. Okay, all set, Uncle Terry. Okay." And then I was.
And you were off to the races.
Yeah.
When did you start writing?
I probably wrote my first 10 songs for a band called Big Suit, which was a rock and roll band that I played in years ago with George Ravlich and Ed Young.
Wait, George played?
Oh my gosh! Yes.
I did not know that George.
I know. He's tried to erase that from people's memories. He played absolutely fantastic electric bass player.
Shut up!
I will not shut up.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you wrote 10 songs.
I wrote 10 songs, and those first 10 songs are on an album called Big Suit from Jeepers. I don't even remember when that was.
How many albums do you have under your belt now, in one form or the other? Because I know you've recorded with Frank.
Yeah, so that I play and sing, I guess it would be about 5.
Okay, well, what about J.K. Alone?
This is my first one.
Are you, in all these years?
All these years, yeah, this is my first one. I've played in several bands and released funk albums and blues albums and country albums.
Was it different this time that it was your album alone? Did it feel different? Was there, you know what I'm asking you is, what was the process like as compared to?
So. You never do anything in a vacuum, right? There's always help from. So I wrote most of the songs completely by myself. There is a song that's written by the fantastic Ed Young I do. It's the only cover on the album, but it's not technically a cover. So I don't think
Is he any relation to that lady Luann Young?
I don't know. I don't know that they're related, but they could be. It's Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah. Okay.
He'd be lucky if he were. But what I did was I wrote most of the songs, and then I get help when you go in to record them. I had Frank Duresti help produce the record with me, and Dustin Jones also. They always give their input, so it's always a sharing the ideas, and hey man, what did you think about this, and things like that. So, but I basically had these songs where I wrote them, never really played them a lot, and just fleshed them out and brought them into the studio and started recording them. And now I'm playing them all the time, so they're even more now my songs than they were when I was recording them.
Do you ever sit down to write a song that isn't sort of motivated or brought on by personal experience? Sometimes, do you ever just write a song just because you feel like writing a song and you're in a mood?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of the time, because the process by which I follow to write a song is I start with a chord progression or a neat riff or some neat musical thing, and then from there I have a melody that jumps into my head, so I just start speaking gibberish around it, and then words kind of start to form, and then words form, and then the music the song almost tells me what it's about.
Is there ever a time when the words come first?
Yeah, there are. Like if I have a really cool turn of phrase, again, I don't write poetry or anything like that, because anytime I write a nice turn of phrase or I think of it, and I hope that it's not already been spoken, which probably already has, but if it's not been recorded and put out there, it was me. But I'll typically put that to music, but that's rare, more rare than anything. I've got notebooks full of just like neat phrases,
right.
And then I'll play something, and then I'll pull out the notebook and sort of look through it. Chris Balsito taught me how to do that.
All right, on. Now, so January Cold, you said it's sort of inspired. It's from personal feelings, from experience, from what you were going through at the time. And then I asked you, okay, so then that's kind of it's pretty melancholy.
It's melancholy for sure. I've always felt that there's a bit of an uplifting thing to it. There's one line, and this was the first line in the song. I was walking to Big Gun's barbershop to get my beard trimmed. It wasn't my hair, trust me. To get my beard trimmed, and it was just bitterly, bitterly cold, and it was blowing. Queen Street can be a bit of a wind tunnel in the wintertime, and it was just hammering me, and I was not feeling good about much of anything. But then I thought to myself, I said, this bitterness is fleeting, so just don't worry about it. It's just coming through. So that is what I feel of the song.
Bitterness is
fleeting. It's not going to be.
It is uplifting in that way. You're right. Okay.
And I think that might be the only uplifting thing in the song. But that's what I.
So then I asked you before we came to the camera, what about fun, like happy songs? Is it hard to write happy songs for you?
I don't find it difficult at all. There's not a lot on this album, but there are a few. Most of my happy songs end up with the band called Big Wheel and the Spokes.
Yeah.
This is a three-piece sort of fun outfit, and it's more lighthearted and fun. But there's a couple on this album as well.
So now this album, I've heard you play. We've just talked about it. I mean, the different genres of music you play: jazz, country, pop, folk, like classic rock.
Sure.
I mean everything.
Yes.
And Latin.
Yeah.
So what can we expect on this CD?
So you're going to hear mostly roots and folk.
Okay.
Basically, it's singer-songwriter. I don't know if there's a thing. If there is a thing, it would be like Gordon Lightfoot and Neil Young, Canadiana, basically.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Are those influences of yours?
Oh, certainly, yeah. I mean...
What other musical influences over the years?
Gosh. Jimi Hendrix was probably my first major musical influence. Eric Clapton, songwriters, Bob Dylan, obviously, like I said, Lightfoot and Neil Young. And Frank Duresti is a huge influence of mine. Chris Balsito is a huge influence of mine.
They're going to be
George Ravlich, it was a big musical influence of mine.
Then there's that guy, what's his name, Tim Murphy?
Oh, Tim Murphy, of course. Right, he was the last but not least.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the CD is dropping
on the 22nd. It's out there for sale already. You can pick it up at various places around town.
Do you know any names of places?
Georgie's Shawarma, Thomas Walsh School of Music, which is now Long and McQuaid.
Right.
You can pick them up. From me, just go to my website. And you can actually buy
What's
right
your
online.
website?
www.jcasemusic.com. Follow me on Instagram, which is Music J Case, or Facebook, Music J Case, and you can stream it online on my website or on Spotify, and you can order online and all that fun stuff. It's on iTunes.
But if you want to get a signed copy,
beautiful. So come on the 22nd of December at 8 p.m.
Just in time for Christmas.
Just in time, perfect time for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I've got
at Lop Lops.
Lop Lop Lounge, and Shannon Moan is going to be doing a set, as well as a young fellow named Jacob Quarrell, who's also very fantastic.
He just did the Singer-Songwriter Sunday series.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So huge treat. These are very, very, like, it's a beautiful concert.
Man.
With fantastic other artists. So I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so there you go. That's all the details. Lop Lop, December 22nd, or you can pick it up in the locations that Jay told you, or you can go to his website and get it from him there. And what else? Merry Christmas, I guess.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, thanks.
Come back on the show again anytime.
I'd love to.
I'll be at Lop Lop on the 22nd.
I can't wait.
Before I go to Cuba. To listen to...
There you go, that traditional.
Los
Cubanos.
Los Cubanos.
Cantando.
What?
Cantando.
Hey, let's say Merry Christmas in Cuban.
Feliz Navidad. Myself in Sudbury, withering and blue. Fought the urge to drink away all bad thoughts of you. I passed by many strangers I swore I'd met before. I found the heart to crack and smile as we're all in this war. Bitterness is fleeting and I'm a book that's not worth reading. Being me is beginning to get old. this January cold. As I made my way around this gray town late at night, no path to destination lit in pale fluorescent light. Thought about the way my grandfather used to tell me to love what it is I'm doing and do it well. The winds are growing stronger and the nights seem ever longer. A better man might go home as he's told. From this January cold. And we're hastening our paces. The warmest hearts are worth their weight in gold. In this January cold, it's hard to find meaning in a book that's not worth reading. But being me is beginning to get old. In this January cold. In this January cold.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Okay, so cats.
Yes.
It opened last night. I didn't realize that the director, Tom Hooper, as you mentioned, he just finished working on it 12 hours ago. 12 hours before it opened, he finished working on it.
Like, he must have been sweating.
That's ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bad time management.
Well,
anyway.
seriously.
The reviews are, some of the reviews are out that it's creepy. That the guy that works for Broadway World, Alan Henry, he said it's the strangest, most bewildering cinematic experience I've ever had. But he said but it was worth the experience. It's been called a demented dream ballet.
Oh.
Vogue said the worst thing about Cats is that Jason Derulo is the best part.
Ouch.
So, but because they're not wearing costumes.
They're not?
It's all CGI. They all wore like green leotards with sensor points all over it, and then all the costumes and the makeup were CGI'd on after the fact.
So they're not even in makeup?
It's all CGI. It's all done post-production, which I think is just crazy. No.
Wow.
Yeah, no makeup, no wigs, they all just went out there and everything was, I could be wrong about the wigs, but everything else was added on after, which is nuts.
So,
yeah.
Does it look bad?
Have you seen the trailer?
No.
It looks creepy.
Does it?
Yeah. I don't think it was a good idea. But anyway, who am I? However, Jason Derulo, if you know about what's been going on with him recently, there was an Instagram picture that Jason Derulo had of himself, and he was coming out of, I think it was a body of water wearing a bathing suit, and Instagram took down the picture of Jason Derulo in his bathing suit, claiming that it was aroused, that he appeared aroused in this picture. And so they took it down because they thought it was inappropriate. He responded saying, that's just me. So he was a little upset, saying, "You judge, you take down my picture because I'm well endowed," kind of thing. That's,
well, yeah.
Well, then now it turns out they CGI'd him out of Cats.
Oh,
he was on a talk show. He was on Andy Cohen. Because he was, I guess it was large. It was a large bulge, and it was distracting. And so they.
Holy moly!
Andy Cohen asked him. He said, "So did they?" And he said, "Did they CGI out my?" Yeah, they did.
Wow.
He was not even neutered. He was like castrated. No, that's just anyway. So there you go. He's been fixed.
We know that for sure.
In Cats, Jason Derulo has been spayed. Anyway, neutered. Spade.
Neutered.
And the Wright brothers aren't from Canada. Thank you.
They're from Ohio.
Yeah, they are. Now you have... What the heck's going on now?
Now I have the news.
That's right.
Coming up right after this, so please stay with us. Mornings with Luann and Tim. It's Tuesday.
Still.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Vehicle collision early this morning stalled commuter traffic around Great Northern Road and Second Line. A commercial pickup truck and small car collided at the intersection. The truck ended up smashing into a light pole. Both vehicles sustained major damage. No word on any injuries at this point. Sioux Fire Services, EMS, and Sioux Police Services tended to the scene. No other details are available at this time. Victims of a mass shooting in Toronto have filed a class action lawsuit against U.S. gun maker Smith & Wesson, alleging the company was negligent for failing to include smart gun technology in the handgun that was used in the attack. A statement of claim filed in Ontario Superior Court on behalf of several victims of the shooting on Toronto's Danforth Avenue in July of last year alleges Smith & Wesson was aware the semi-automatic pistol, which was previously reported stolen from a Saskatchewan dealer, was ultra-hazardous. It alleges the company was aware guns without systems to prohibit their use by people other than their authorized owners posed a likelihood of harm to the public because it made an agreement with the U.S. government in 2000 to incorporate the technology into new gun designs, but then introduced the type of gun used in the attack in 2005. The statement of claim contains allegations which have not yet been tested in court. Smith & Wesson did not immediately respond when asked for comment by the Canadian press. The country's finance ministers are meeting in Ottawa today with more federal help for resource-dependent provinces such as Alberta on the agenda. All provinces say a federal program that cushions provincial budgets from sudden shocks needs to be more generous. The fiscal stabilization program is easier to change than the more complex equalization program, and amendments could be worth billions to provinces whose finances have been hit by low oil prices. They want the program revised to eliminate a $60 per person cap on payments and to allow retroactive payments that could be worth billions to Alberta in particular. Unlike equalization payments, fiscal stabilization money comes straight from federal revenues, which made it easy for provincial premiers to agree earlier this month that expanding the program is a top priority. Federal Finance Minister Bill Morneau will also face calls for more transfers of federal money for health care. U.S. Democratic presidential candidate Senator Bernie Sanders told a TV station in Palm Springs that nobody wants to be spending an enormous amount of time impeaching a president, but that President Trump's conduct has made impeachment necessary.
I think at the end of the day, nobody wants to be spending an enormous amount of time impeaching a president. But the reality is that is what the House has to do, because you have to have standards for a president of the United States. If a president can obstruct justice, if a president, in my view, can violate the emoluments clause and make himself rich because he's president, add additional revenue for his family, if a president can use military aid to gain dirt on his opponent, if you allow that to go on, then what kind of standard are you setting for future presidents? So I support the impeachment. I hope it is done quickly. There'll be a trial in the Senate, and we'll go from there.
4 BC Indigenous groups began arguments yesterday in the Federal Court of Appeal that the Canadian government failed to consult adequately with them before its latest approval of the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion. Leaders from the First Nations held a press conference in Vancouver before the court hearings got underway yesterday.
A expanded pipeline export facility within our territory and within this part of the world does not make sense given the risks that are being posed and the lack of meaningful respect by the federal government for the rights of the Squamish people. We will continue to challenge this and continue to challenge the federal government using our rights that are protected under the Canadian Constitution. That is what is asked of us as leaders by our people, and it's asked of us by future generations who are praying that we continue to stand up for the environment that we are going to hand down to them one day.
From everyone here at East Street Pizza Company, happy holidays.
This is something I had no idea about. Charlize Theron.
Something you didn't know?
I know, it's hard to believe. Charlize Theron actually in an interview very recently detailed the night that her mother shot and killed her father.
Oh, come on. What?
Right? Did you know that?
Well, no, how would I? But
What, right? She was 15 or something, and I guess dad was an alcoholic, and
abusive?
yeah, mom and Charlize were in a room with the door closed, and they were holding the door against him, and he was pushing in, and he actually at one point shot through the door.
Oh my gosh.
And missed both of them. So then the mom, somehow it ended up she shot
Self-defense.
him and killed. She was never charged.
Well, self-defense, obviously.
Well,
no,
yeah.
no charge, but
I didn't know Charlize
was
Theron.
like, what, how old? 15, 16?
15. Yes.
Holy smokes.
I had no clue.
I wonder if, you know, as an actress, you know, I mean,
Right?
she must have some stuff to draw on. She's an amazing actress.
Yes, she
She's
is.
one of those people who can transform
Yeah.
herself like,
Right.
what?
Yeah, you look at her and go, huh?
Was it Monster? What was the name of that film? where
Yes.
oh my gosh. If you ever
was
get a chance to watch that one where she plays
awesome.
she's a woman.
serial killer.
Female serial killer, yeah, who basically killed men. She was I believe she was a lesbian, or she was bi anyway, but she, she was also in sex trade, and she killed
Yes.
her,
Yeah, she'd been raped earlier in her life. Yeah.
Amazing film.
You
She's
have
a
got
great
to see
actress.
it. She put on 40 pounds. She looks like a man.
Imagine living through that. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that awful?
A lot of therapy for that one.
No kidding. And then she does those commercials, those perfume commercials, and it looks so elegant and feminine and dainty, and you never know what people are carrying with them. Poor thing.
Speaking, okay, Jamie, I just read something about Jamie Foxx. This is very interesting. There was a film called Any Given Sunday. I'm not really familiar with it.
No, me neither.
I guess it was directed by Oliver Stone.
Okay.
Okay, so there was this thing going on. Hollywood Reporter had a round table. Tom Hanks, Shia LaBeouf, Robert De Niro, Adam Driver, Adam Sandler, and Jamie Foxx. Really cool, right? You can watch that if you want to find it. They were talking about directors they worked with. And I guess Jamie Foxx auditioned for Any Given Sunday, Oliver Stone. He did his reading, and Oliver Stone said to him, "You're horrible." And Jamie Foxx said, "Excuse me, what?" And he said, "Just get them out of here." And Jamie Foxx started to leave, and he said, as he on his way out, "Jamie Foxx, slave to television."
What?
And I guess Jamie had never said, "I was really in television. I didn't know in film was it." He said he yelled everything. He said, "In TV, you just talk normal. In film, they all talk so like this." And
Yes.
And so he told him he was a terrible actor and to get out.
Oh my word.
Shia LaBeouf said he also worked with Oliver Stone, never made eye contact.
Really?
I wouldn't like that.
No, that would be
You
weird.
gotta trust a director. I don't know.
Yeah, for
hey,
sure.
I got some bad news.
What?
Well, okay, so Sarah McCleary couldn't be here. Something came up with a personal, so she couldn't be here. And then Lene Fragamini, I don't know where Lene is. I think maybe we'll have to find out what happened to Lene. But the memorial tree lighting is this weekend, so check it out. You can go online, you Google it, you can find out all about it. In the meantime, since we just had Bruce on the show yesterday talking about the Ringette, we thought, Bruce Graham was here, we thought we would re-air my Ringette segment that I did earlier in the year. So we hope you enjoy it, and it's for the Sue Ringette Club. So, and we'll be back after that. We are on location at the John Rhodes Arena. It's me and Amy Peltonen. Hello, Amy. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for inviting me to come out and play Ringette. Okay, to be fair, I only remember Ringette from when I was in like gym class at Sacred Heart Elementary School, and we played it in the gym, on the gym floor, with like felt or something, I think. I think they were like felt rings or something. And so when you called me and said, hey, do you want to come and join the Sioux Ringette Club and see a practice and meet some of the players? I was like, yeah. And then you said, okay, bring your skates. I was like, what do you mean skates? I thought Ringette was on a gym floor. You made me skate. Mm-hmm. How did I do?
You did wonderful.
Coffee break! You're such a liar, Amy Peltonen, but thank you. It says here Ringette is not hockey for girls. I've learned more about Ringette today than I ever knew there was to know about Ringette. Different rules. Can you explain some of them, Amy?
Absolutely. So the rules of Ringette are different from hockey. They're actually created to enforce teamwork within the girls on the ice.
Ah.
So one of the biggest rules people know about is that you have to pass over the blue lines.
So unlike hockey where you're not allowed to, right, you can't let the puck go without anybody down that end of the rink?
Right.
This is completely different for Ringette.
That's right.
Which makes the game faster and like, yeah?
It absolutely makes it a lot faster. Another rule that's different is when you get to the older divisions, they have a 30-second shot clock.
Okay, this is really weird. Go, tell about their 30-second shot clock.
So once your team gets possession of the ring,
So you take the ring from another player, from another team.
and your team only has 30 seconds to get to the other end of the ice and shoot on net.
That's not a lot of time.
No, it goes quickly. So these girls, they're really, really fast on the ice.
And if they do shoot on the net and they make it, then what happens? If they score?
If they score, they get a goal.
Okay.
And then
they start again?
And then the other team starts with possession.
But if they don't make it, what happens?
So if there's a rebound and your team catches the ring on the rebound, you have 30 seconds to try again.
It just keeps going 30 seconds more as long as you get it back. But if the other team gets it, does the play continue and they have 30 seconds?
Exactly.
You must have some wicked clock people. They're going to be on the ball.
They really have to pay attention.
Or on the ring. Yeah. Okay, what else now? Different equipment. What's different about that was a lot of gear you put me in.
Yeah.
What? Tell me about the equipment and why it's different and how.
So for females, we wear a girdle instead of hockey pants. We still wear shin pads and elbow pads.
Yes.
We still have a helmet.
Yes.
But like I said, we have a girdle to protect our hips and the tailbone.
Yes.
And then you get
It's padded. It's got like little bum pads and stuff in it. So when I fell down, it didn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt at all. No.
The other weird thing, though, for me was the helmet because there is no blade on the end of the stick. It's just a stick that could poke.
Yeah.
So there's a real, it's a tight grid on the mask, right?
Yes, so the cage on a Ringette mask is triangles, so that way the straight stick doesn't go through your cage. So it protects your
And I said to you that I was finding it difficult because my eyes were tending to focus on the mesh instead of the in front of me. Is that common? This cage is really freaking me out that I'm in here.
It's important though.
Well, I know my teeth are expensive. I paid a lot for these teeth. I gotta hang on to them. And I just had them whitened. Da Vinci, teeth whitening. Okay, so now what? Now where am I going?
Absolutely, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
Over time, you get used to it and you don't even see it anymore.
Now, the speed and the strength was something else. I don't know, okay. I guess I'm sexist because when it has ETT on the end, Ringette, it sounds feminine. It sounds, those girls are major athletes. I mean, the power and the strength and the speed, I was blown away. I had no idea. And then you say, but that's part of the game, right? You have to have that.
Absolutely. You have to have the endurance to be able to go that full length of time, and you have to give it your all because you only have a short period of time to get that ring in the net.
Fast skating. Now, the other thing that I think is very interesting is when these young ladies get together, and by the way, let's talk about the league itself and the ages of the players in the Sioux Ringette Club.
Sure. So we start with our players as young as 4 years old. We have a phenomenal U6 division. It's a learn to skate and play Ringette.
Under 6 means U6.
Under 6 means, under 6 years old. So 4 or 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds with no skating ability. It incorporates power skating lessons as well as learning the basics of the game.
See, that is what I think is very cool. So when they first come in here, they're actually learning power skating skills. They're learning how to skate as well as how to play the game and the rules, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's pretty invaluable. And then how often do they get together?
So the younger divisions usually get at least 1 hour of ice time a week.
Okay.
As they get into the older divisions, we go all the way through U8, U10, 12, 14, 16, U19, and then we do have a couple adult teams as well.
Here in the Sault.
We do.
Do you play on a team, Amy?
I do. I'm not an elite player.
No, there's one young lady in there that's one of the elite players. She plays on a AAA team or something like that.
Yeah, so we actually have 3 members from our club that are on the AAA team.
Right.
So they play on a Northeast team, which is comprised of players from Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, North Bay, and Timmins. I think I've got them all.
That's okay. That's impressive. And also, 2 years ago, tell me about the success that the team had.
So they actually won the provincial tournament 2 years ago. Yeah, we were provincial champions. We were Team Ontario.
They were playing where?
In Pickering, they
were
won.
in Pickering, and then they got to go to Montreal and play for the whole division, that East Division.
Yes, the Eastern Division.
What excitement for them. Okay, so what else is on here? Different skills. Well, because you talk.
So again, because we have a straight stick and the ring, it's not like hockey. You don't just push the puck down the ice. You have to be able to stab it.
Stab it. That's what the gentleman, what's his name again, the president?
Bruce Graham.
Bruce Graham, you guys, he knows everything about Ringette. He's so passionate about it. He started Ringette down in Southern Ontario, is that right?
Yes, I believe he started in Sunderland.
Yeah, and then he came up to the Sault, and his passion for it just brought him to the club, and I would guess he's a real asset.
He is phenomenal. He knows more about Ringette than I've met from anybody, and he's truly passionate about developing athletic young women.
Yeah, well, he helped develop this athletic young man here. Also, the thing that he taught me that I never knew about, did you know that Ringette was started in North Bay, Ontario? That's where Ringette was invented, so there, 50 years ago, is that right?
That's right.
See, Bruce is very knowledgeable. Okay, so different skills, different game. How does it scores, though? I mean, you go 1 to what? I mean, just as many goals as you get.
One thing that's a little bit different to ensure that you're playing fairly, in some tournaments they will have a rule that you can't score more than 10 goals than the other team, just to try and make sure you're not creaming the other team, so that there is a fairness element to it as well.
See, they play nice on the rink. Okay, so if people are interested, because I think this would be a great thing for a young lady to learn this. I mean, 5 years old, learning how to skate. Strong and confident. It's true. The ladies that I spoke to in there, the young ladies, well-spoken, friendly.
Yep.
And they mentor the younger girls, don't they?
They do. We have a lot of our older girls that will come on the ice and they'll help our younger players. We have a lot of them who are also taking on coaching roles, as well as referee roles within the club.
Because you have to have particular referees. You can't just use hockey referees. There's different rules. They go to like a camp or something for referees for Ringette, don't they? Or like what do they call it?
Yeah, we have clinics and there's training sessions. Yep.
Yeah, that's very cool too.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I have a daughter, or if I myself wanted to play Ringette, if I'm if I'm a 50-year-old woman, can I play Ringette?
If you're a 50-year-old man, you can come and play Ringette with us. So
well, I just happen to maybe be a 50-ish-year-old man, and I might want to play Ringette because that was totally fun. How do I get involved?
So we actually have 2 free Ringette events coming up. There's one at the end of September, on September 29th. It's for children, so anybody from the ages of 4 all the way up to 16. If you want to come try Ringette, all you need are skates and a helmet. We'll provide the rings and the sticks, and you can basically just do what Tim did today. Try Ringette, try a couple of drills, see if you like it. We also have a second free Come Try Ringette.
Wait, where is that happening? Here at the John Rhodes?
Here at John Rhodes.
And the date again was?
September 29th.
Do people need to register for that?
Yes, you just go to cometryringette.ca and you can sign up for free.
Cometryringette.ca, sign up for free, and it's a total of free day. What time is that happening? Do you know the time yet?
6:30.
6:30 p.m.
Yes.
Okay, what's the other event?
So the other one is very similar. It's a Come Try Ringette, but for adults.
Oh, okay.
So
me.
Yeah. Exactly. Whether if you are just learning to skate, if you haven't skated in 20, 30, 40 years,
right.
If you are maybe thinking you play hockey and you want to try something new.
So there's levels for everyone.
Absolutely. We're a very inclusive club.
When is that second one for adults, Amy?
Sunday, October 6th.
Sunday, October the 6th, and is there a time on that one?
Here at 6:30.
Again, at the John Rhodes at 6:30. Okay, and the other really cool thing about the rings for Ringette, I'll show you after, Alex. I'm going to just show you some of the great things you can do with the ring, because the rings come in very handy. They're all kinds of, they serve all kinds of purposes. So, Amy, I want to thank you again for inviting me here. Wait, did you want to come over and say hello? This is your daughter?
This is my daughter.
And your name is what?
Alana.
Alana?
Yes.
Alana, how old are you?
9.
9 years old. And pardon me, Amy. How long have you been playing? I was going to say roulette. How long have you been gambling? No. How long have you been playing Ringette?
5 years.
Wait. How old are you?
9.
You started when you were 4.
Yes.
Who taught you? Who taught you how to play and skate and all that stuff? A bunch of different people, or was there somebody in particular that really taught you how to play Ringette?
Everybody.
Everybody. They all pitch in and teach you. What's your favorite thing about coming to play Ringette?
You get to meet new friends.
You get to meet new friends. That's the perfect answer. And you get to be in shape, right? I'll bet you. Are you in good shape?
Yes.
Are you a fast skater?
Yes.
I know you are. I saw you. You beat me out there. All right. So, how many hours a week do you think you play Ringette? A couple hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, what?
Maybe an hour.
An hour. And do you have a team?
Yes.
Does the team have a name?
Ice Hawks.
The Ice Hawks. Check them out. Ringette. What's the website again? Come on in.
Yeah.
The website again is?
Our club website is sueringette.ca.
There you go.
And if you're interested in the Come Try Ringette events, it's cometryringette.ca.
Come try Ringette and meet some new friends like I did. Thanks again for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'm going to show you what I can do with the rings, okay? We have to go get me some rings. Can you find me some rings?
Yes.
Okay. We'll be right back. Okay, Amy's back. She brought some rings for me, but before I demonstrate what you can do with Ringette rings, Amy, tell us about, do you got something going on here? You're hosting something?
Absolutely. This April coming, so April 2020, we're hosting the U12 Provincial Championship Tournament. So we're going to have hundreds, thousands of people coming to Sault Ste. Marie
No way.
to play Ringette here.
When? April 2020?
Yes.
And is that happening at the John Rhodes? All the tournament will happen here or where around the city?
All across the city. So we'll be at John Rhodes, McMeekin, possibly Rankin.
Is this a first for us?
We have hosted provincials before, and actually last year we hosted the regional tournament here.
Wow. Well, congratulations. That must be kind of a big deal for us to get that, right?
It's really exciting, yeah.
And it brings in a lot of people and hotels and restaurants and all that, right?
It's great for tourism.
And then what about people coming to watch? Do you sell, do people have to pay to come and watch the tournament, or can you just come and enjoy it?
No, we love the sport so much, we just want people to come watch us for free.
Okay, now Amy, do you mind holding my microphone? And I will now demonstrate the different things you can do with just ringettes. Are you ready? First of all, if you happen to have hemorrhoids, you can sit on it, and it's like a little tube, so you don't hurt yourself. Okay, that's one. Number two, it makes great bangles, little bracelets. Aren't those nice? Look, you can get these. This shirt beats what you can get at the dollar store. These are fancy. Okay, also, you could wear them for earrings. If you have one of those pierced ears, you could probably fit this right in there. And finally, MICKEYMOUSE. See you real soon.
Mio's Furniture Fashions is holding its just-in-time for Christmas sale on now until Christmas Eve. There are big savings on all floor models and stock, 20 to 50% off store-wide, and don't pay till 2021. No interest, no payments, OAC. Dining sets, mattresses and sofa beds, fireplaces, area rugs, lighting, decor, and lacy boy and accent chairs. Everything you need, just in time for Christmas at Mio's Furniture Fashions. Service before and after the sale, 261 Trunk Road. Where else?
So much for watching, and thank you to KC Security for sponsoring the show for us every single morning. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
And thank you for tuning in. I saw a little peak of sunshine coming up over the horizon. It could be a sunny day. We'll see you tomorrow on Wellness Wednesday.